how to get leaner when eating more food. And usually before my makeup, I prep my skin with moisturizer, with any kind of SPF, and also making sure that I'm adding a foundation primer, just because I found that it definitely makes it look better. And then of course it makes it stick for longer. Usually my face looks pretty good in the evenings too, and it lasts me all day, so I definitely am using a primer. And today I actually decided to create more of a really bright pinkish look with some yellow pops of glitter on my eyes. I absolutely loved it. You will see everything. As for my face, I usually do the same stuff: MAC foundation, then some bronzer, of course, to make myself look a little bit more tan than I am. Then two blushes. For now I use both, just because one is a little bit more coral peach type of color, and another one is more muted, cooler, pinkish type of color. So I found that mixing them both really makes my skin pop, and I absolutely love it. Of course, I always add highlighter on my face because I like to shine bright. This is why I also add glitter on my eyes, like a lot of glitter usually. So as you can see, I'm creating kind of a, as I said, pinkish type of look. I'm adding my favorite, this palette, honestly, I don't remember the name, but this one is my absolute favorite. I found that although there's just a couple colors, I can create so many different looks because those are just so gorgeous on my eyes. And also I even found that I can use darker shimmers or darker pinkish color as a eyeliner. As you can see, I just used a tiny brush and created a little eyeliner effect on my eyes. Then of course even more glitter with some, I think it's transparent glitter. It's very cheap. I think I got it on Amazon, so it works honestly for most of the things, especially for glitter and just eyeshadows and stuff. Usually Amazon or any kind of cheaper ones works just as good as any Huda Beauty or even, I don't know, MAC and stuff, although those definitely higher quality. But if you don't have a lot of money to spend on it and you don't maybe use a lot of makeup, it can be a great solution to just get something cheaper for when you need it on Amazon and be good to go. So I usually mix those up. I use more of a high-end brands, which of course I love more, but I found that, as I said, I can easily use cheaper ones and they work just as great. So yeah, this is what I did. I also usually prime my eyelashes with a primer, just because I found that, first of all, mascara sticks longer, that's for sure. And then I also found that it makes my eyes look, my eyelashes, look a little bit better, almost thicker and a little bit longer, which is always a good thing. And then this day I actually decided to add some pink mascara on just my lower lashes to kind of match that pinkish eye look effect even more.
Rain, 우린 젖은 채로 stay 하루 종일 또 색다른 motive. Hush, fame, 그램이 너를 take 매일 갖고 싶어 너만 생각하면 높이 날아. I heard that you've been just searching for someone when you need me right now.
And now it's time for the workout part of this video. And I started with some barbell sumos. Of course, I'm using a lighter weight just because if I'm using heavier, I notice that my lower back starts to engage a lot. And then, of course, my right hip, which is right now is in pain, still starts really hurting. And I think that my body just tries to overcompensate. So I'm trying to do a little bit of a higher rep, but lighter weight as well. Then I moved on into barbell bridges, which lately I've been loving, especially just because the setup is so simple. And someone asked me on Instagram what's the difference between hip thrust and bridges. So with bridges, you have smaller range of motion because you are not using a bench, you're just simply lifting the bar from the ground. But I found that it really works my glutes well and doesn't engage as much of a quad muscles, which is right now my goal is to actually just grow my glutes. My quads are pretty good. Of course, some quads still can be improved for me, but I just don't want to grow my quads a lot more, you know. So another exercise that I did is actually barbell squat, which of course works your quads too, but I'm just focusing on the glutes, on my feet positioning, on going deep and working those glute muscles by really focusing and concentrating on it as well. Then I actually warmed up again with a band because I said that my hip is really painful, and by now I need to be careful. I need to make sure that I'm activating my glutes and none of other muscle groups are not compensating, you know, because if I'm too tight, it can be painful on my lower back, on my hip, even on my hamstrings, in just wrong areas, I mean, and it's not the best. So I'm trying to pay as much attention as I can to my warm-ups, to my activation exercises, even using lighter loads, as I said, and focusing on that squeeze, on higher rep, on working those glutes without adding unnecessary weight on other areas, you know. So that's pretty much my goal. Then I also did some single leg RDLs, which honestly I love them. I just need to, as I said, be careful and not use too much weight and focus on the glute, on the hamstring, and make sure that I'm not in pain, you know. And also what I found that doing some body weight movements really helps me to focus even more, to get that mind muscle connection going, especially if I feel that I'm losing a pump or something just isn't ideal. I always add some body weight work, which always saves me, always brings the mind muscle connection back, and it always feels good. And also I finished with some hip abductions. Nothing crazy here, just good all hip abductions. So it is Sunday and I'm just done with my leg day, and you know what? It actually rained today, and quite a lot in the morning, which I was surprised about. And there's some updates that I wanted to tell you. So first of all, Olympia just passed. Laura Lee won. My girl, my dear friend Ashley was second, which I was super excited about. And I didn't sleep quite well because I was trying to watch the live stream, and of course it was during the night, so I was trying to go to bed, then I was waking up to check the updates, and it was a mess. But of course I still managed to get a pretty good leg day, which I'm super excited about. And another thing that I wanted really to update you and kind of give you kind of a learn from my mistakes type of thing. So, you know, we fitness junkies that we love to train, we love to overdo. Usually we overdo things and we do way more than we need to in order to get strong, build muscle, get leaner and stuff. So I was actually walking way too much and training way too intense for quite a bit of time. I mean, not quite a bit of time, but past week I was doing that, and I felt good, I felt energized, but I started getting poor sleep. I started getting bloated, although I was eating the same things. I even had to lower my food intake because I was feeling so bloated, uncomfortable, my digestion suffered, and I couldn't figure out what is happening because I didn't change things. Although, I mean, at least I thought I didn't, but looking at my step count, it was higher. My training intensity, my workouts was longer, and my body basically was stressed out, and I didn't know about it. So I said to myself, Laura, you will be staying at home. You will be reducing your step count, although I know you love to move. You will be sitting on your ass for longer than you should, maybe, just to kind of see if that makes any difference. And of course, I did that. I even increased my calories a little bit. I was back on 2,700 calories, and now I'm back at like 28. Hopefully we'll get to 3,000 calories eventually again, because my digestion is starting to get better. I am going to the bathroom, TMI, almost fully. I mean, it's not perfect right now, TMI again, but it's getting there, and I'm really happy with everything because as I said, if you are overworking your body, then losing body fat will be so much harder. Although of course you are trying harder, doing more, training more intensely, you're way more tired, and you wonder why your body doesn't respond. And you know why it doesn't respond? Because you are pushing it too hard, and you need to focus on feeling good first of all. Then you will be having good digestion, good energy, good sleep, and all those things of course regulate your hormones, and just makes everything work, you know. So that's really important. So that's pretty much the main topic of this video. Do not overdo. By doing less, you can actually gain more and just lose more body fat, of course, and just be healthier, feel better, and progress way better. So those things are important. Then speaking of Olympia, as he said, unfortunately Jen didn't participate in the Olympia, as well as Maureen. She pulled out the last minute, and it was quite interesting. But of course a lot of people speculated that probably Laura Lee will win, or maybe Ashley will win, but mainly people usually, it was year after year that they thought that Laura Lee will win, but this year it kind of was her year. And yeah, she definitely deserved. She looked amazing. I love her shape. Yeah, so that's pretty much the update with the Olympia and how it went. Also Chris Bumstead, oh my goodness, I am surprised how much he just keeps improving year after year. And although another guy gave him quite a bit of a battle, I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised. He was smaller, of course, in height, but he looked really good. But of course, Chris Bumstead is Chris Bumstead, and it's legacy. It is his legacy, and actually it was the last year of him competing. He is retiring now, at least for quite some time, I'm sure. Yeah, so it's kind of a nice way to end competing chapter of your life, you know, with the win. I think it's his 6th win, I believe. Yeah, so that was exciting. And of course, wellness girl, what is her name? Francielli got 2nd, and then there's another one. Is she Elisa? I don't remember her name, but I think she looks incredible. Well-deserved win. I feel like it's quite hard to judge bikini or wellness because those girls are looking amazing, and it's quite hard to pick, you know, because there's a lot of things that comes into that, you know. There's not only about your shape, but it's your presentation, your hair, your skin, your makeup, everything, how you move, how confident you are. And once again, this is why I think Laura Lee won, because she is always confident. She moves well, she poses well, she just looks natural on stage. And I feel like this is something that every competitor should aim for. You should be feeling happy, excited on stage. And of course, sometimes you have better and worse days, you know. Sometimes you don't feel like yourself. My issue usually, when I was competing in IFBB Elite, and I won my championship, European championship, against 26 girls, which was the best day of my life probably. That day, everything just came into place. I felt so confident, so excited. I was just natural on stage, which of course, this is how judges notices you, and this is how people can take the eyes off of you, you know. You need to be confident, you need to be sure, because that day, honestly, I did everything myself. I did my own makeup, my hair, I loved everything, how I look, my bikini, the color of my bikini, the cut, everything. It was just perfect. And sometimes when I had those shows when I was given, I mean, I paid for my makeup and the person did it, and I'm sure they are amazing artists, but it just didn't fit me. It didn't match my face. I didn't look like myself. So that's why I didn't look confident. And when you don't look confident, it's harder to present yourself well, you know. You need to be sure, you need to feel like yourself, and those things matters in competing. And yeah, so I definitely recommend you to either pick the right makeup artist, or ideally learn how to do your makeup yourself, because you will be so much more confident. This is what I'm doing right now. The same with hair. Just learn how to make it good, you know. So in this vlog, I also will be including my makeup video, my makeup routine, morning routine, because As I said, I keep doing different look almost every single day because I love to match my makeup with my outfits. So for example, if I'm wearing shorts that's pink, then I do some pop of color that's pink on my eyes. If I wear blue, I do something blue, and usually I love to match it. Sometimes I switch it up, but I love to mix and match and just create my own little styles. So I love that, and that's pretty much my update with everything, with how I'm feeling. I'm quite hungry, I need to eat. I also have prepped more muffins for the entire day. Once again, it's the same thing. And there's even more here for tomorrow. So I'm kind of prepared. And yeah, so I'm gonna be eating the same thing right now. And I'm gonna update you a little later. Guys, quick interruption. Sorry, I'm looking like a mess. I just got out of the shower. Seriously, recently, I mean. My makeup is running and everything. I mean, I barely have anything left on my face. But good news. Actually, Fit Jeans right now just launched their sale, and now with code LS you can save 30% off. So go, I'm leaving the link below. Go check it out. They are amazing. So many incredible designs. My favorite color is Arctic Light Blue. I also wear extra small in all of their styles and designs. All of those jeans are fitting so good, and especially for us girls that lifts, it's so hard to find jeans that fits our waist and hips, and those are so stretchy. They are made for girls that actually trains and lifts and has a little bit more curve, you know, and quality is amazing. The pairs that I have for 5 years still last me, and they are looking just as great. So that's my message. That's quick interruption, and now let's get back to the video. Okay guys, so while my food is cooking, I decided to speak a little bit more on this topic, which is how to get leaner when eating more food. And I know I did a couple videos like this in the past, but I feel like every single time that I remake some kind of a topic, I have a little bit more to add to it and kind of give you more insights, more new tips based on my own experience and of course my client journeys that I coach, and this way hopefully help you in your journey, especially if you are feeling stuck, and especially if you have been dieting for a long time, or you just in general have lower calories than you would love to have, you know, and you feel low energy, unmotivated, and just not like yourself, and you would love to change that. So I am here to help, and these are the simple things that you can do to actually make your journey easier and better. So first things first, you know how important protein is, and it's always a good idea to increase your protein intake, especially if you are starting to add more calories instead of just adding more carbs and fats. Make sure that you are also adding more protein, and then of course as you go play around with food, with fats and carbs, depending on how your body is responding. But you know, to digest protein, your body takes quite a bit of energy, so you will be safer by eating more protein. And of course, protein is the building block of the body, of the muscle. It helps you to recover, to get stronger, and of course, as I said, speeds up your metabolism quite a bit. So don't be afraid of protein sources. Another thing, I mean, who is afraid of protein? I don't know, but I was about to say that if you are adding more protein, you should also make sure that that protein comes from whole foods. That's first of all, and then it comes from different sources. So I know it's easy to keep your diet simple, to keep eating the same foods all the time, the same chicken, but you need to vary your protein sources because those nutrients will give your body more nutrients, and of course will help you with your body's composition, overall with health. And then when your body is healthy, it's way easier and just basically way easier for your body to respond to whatever you are doing fitness wise. So different meats, eggs, different fish, any kind of seafood if you can digest it and you feel good on it. Dairy products are amazing if you of course can tolerate it. Protein powders, you can add those, but just don't overdo because it can definitely mess up your digestion, especially if you are overdoing. I just recently had one client situation when we work with macros. So I didn't give her the exact meal plan only in the beginning, but then as we worked longer, we started doing macros and we increased our food and of course protein as well. And she added, I didn't know that, but she added more protein powders. I believe she was consuming 3 or at least 2 servings per day. And suddenly she started feeling super bloated, uncomfortable. I didn't know what is happening. I thought maybe it's something to do with increasing calories. We checked at those things. And then suddenly she mentioned that she increased her protein powder consumption, and of course those sweeteners and stuff can definitely mess up your stomach. So with sweeteners, those are all fine and good. I use them daily, but just make sure that you are not over consuming, and especially of course different bodies tolerates different amounts of it. So maybe someone can use a little bit more and somebody needs to eat a little bit less of sweeteners in order to still feel good, to not disturb digestion, and overall just feel normal, you know. So just be aware of those things. Any kind of processed foods shouldn't be your go-to. Make sure to stick with whole foods, and in this case of course whole food based protein sources, and I promise you, you will feel amazing. You will be much stronger of course in the gym as well because of recovery and more calories in general, and you will be looking better and better as you go. Another important thing is to make sure that you are building muscle as well. That's why we don't want to keep your calories super low, because it definitely won't allow you to have enough energy to push in the gym and then to build muscle, because strength training is quite hard, especially if you have a good training program with compound exercises in it that requires a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, not to only perform those but to recover as well. So make sure that you are eating enough, and as we are increasing calories, you should be noticing more strength gains, more motivation for the gym, and of course the results will be moving faster in the right direction. So muscle gain, muscle building will definitely speed up your metabolism, because muscle burns more calories than fat, and it's way more expensive tissue than fat. So you need to work for it. In that means you need to give your body enough fuel to just sustain that muscle, to build that muscle, and just get stronger overall. So don't be afraid of weightlifting. Do that consistently. You don't have to lift 24/7. I mean 7 days a week, that would be too much. Just stick with whatever you can. 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions a week. You don't need any more than that, because you still need to make sure that you are recovering without overdoing, without too much volume. Straight to the point training program, and you will be golden, I promise. And another super helpful strategy can be actually cycle your calories based on specific days. So for example, you can have your a little bit higher calorie intake on your training days, and then on your rest days when you don't need as much energy, you can actually keep your calories a little bit lower, and this way your body will be kind of guessing what it gets. Because with calorie surplus it's a little bit different, but especially in a deficit, if you are constantly keeping the same extremely low calories, your body will get used to it, it will adapt, and then of course losing body fat further gonna be much more difficult. And even if you will be losing weight, that doesn't mean that you are losing fat, which is of course the goal, especially if we want to stay healthy, look good, stay muscular, instead of just becoming skinny fat almost like. So you need to be aware of that. And as I said, calorie cycling, carb cycling, fat cycling, all of those things can definitely help. And of course it is a different situation for everyone. I have some clients that are eating more fats, some more carbs, some tends to cycle. With some we cycle calories a little bit more, with some of course we are keeping things pretty consistent. It depends, but it's definitely worth trying and just see how it works with your body, how your body responds. And of course when you have more food on your training day, maybe you will be even mentally more motivated to push harder, because you know that you have more food, and that will definitely help you progress further and just do better in general. So be mindful of that it can be one of the options moving forward with your slow, gradual calorie increase. Another thing that I think you heard quite a bit of times before, but it is to increase your non-exercise activity, which means simply walking, moving around, doing things. I specifically love walking, although right now I am still in my building phase, so I'm kind of trying to keep my steps a little bit lower because I tend to overdo with that, so I'm trying to pace myself. But if you want to increase your calorie burning without unnecessarily putting a lot of without making your body stressed, and impact your recovery, this is what I meant by it. Just don't overdo, and just light walking, light moving can definitely be helpful, especially when you want to boost your metabolism. And most people these days sits quite a lot, which isn't super helpful because simply moving, walking after meals can help with your blood sugar levels, with your digestion, hunger, energy even. Sometimes even when you sit for a long time, you feel sluggish, low energy, and then you go for a walk and you come back with all of a sudden a lot of energy. So this is how it works. This is amazing. And instead of doing tons and tons of cardio in the gym, especially if, for example, you are training and you're trying to do your cardio, a long cardio session, post-training, then you get tired and the rest of the day you are just simply sitting without moving around. It's not the best option. In this case, I would even just skip gym cardio and then move more during the day. Hopefully, you will be spreading out those times when you are walking, when you are moving. Instead of doing everything in one window, in 1 hour or whatever, you can just spread it out and just walk for 20 minutes, for 15 minutes even, then again and again, and kind of get a little bit more steps in during the day this way, which, as I said, helps with digestion, blood sugar levels, fat loss, and just basically increasing non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And also getting back to the diet itself, increasing your fiber intake gonna benefit your fat loss progress a lot. Just because fiber is super beneficial for our gut health and, of course, gut microbiome, it helps with digestion. And that, of course, leads to better fat loss overall, because if we cannot digest food that we are eating, we won't be using that food, we won't be feeling as good, and then, of course, performance goes down, fat loss goes down, and all of those things just isn't ideal. So if you can eat a little bit more fiber, more greens, more vegetables, more berries and stuff, that's super beneficial for your overall health goals, but of course, in this case, faster metabolism and fat loss. And the same thing with diet. Also, a lot of people still fear eating fats because for some reason fats will make you fat, and of course that can be the case if you are eating a lot of junk. But if you are simply meeting your healthy fat needs during the day, which healthy fats are avocados, nuts, oily fish is amazing for omegas. Then what else? Why am I suddenly blanking out? Okay, nut butters. All of those things are definitely beneficial, and even seeds and stuff as well is super beneficial to include. And this way, make sure that your hormones are also healthy, because fats are super important for hormonal health. And then if your hormones are regulated, you won't be having as crazy sugar cravings or any kind of cravings, because when body is balanced, it's happy, it's something that doesn't happen. So just be aware of that. Don't be afraid of specific foods, especially if those are whole foods and healthy foods for you. Just slowly, gradually make those increases, as I said, and you will be golden. So I really hope these simple tips was maybe new, maybe just a reminder for you to do something for yourself, and just make sure that you are not being stuck by over dieting, and just keeping your calories way too low for way too long. And maybe it's a sign for you to start increasing and see more better results overall. And also, I will quickly mention that right now I am accepting new one-on-one coaching clients. I am leaving the link below for you to apply. Just tell me your story, tell me how you feel, tell me your struggles, and then hopefully, if we will be seeing that we are a good fit for each other, we will be starting to work together. Also, you can check my coaching specific Instagram or just my own Instagram to see what I post workout wise, diet wise, client progress wise, just to kind of get more inspiration. And yeah, so I really appreciate you guys. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.
I'm afraid you're seeing that mom get paid. Always running out of time, yeah. Take it slow and make your mind up. I heard that you've been just searching for someone when you need me right now. It's now or never, babe. I just wanted you to see it's now.